Hey, good morning everyone. Steven Tiller here again. Just wanted to put another video out. I have a four-part series, or whatever it is. I think it's four. Uh, Purpose and why, health, invest, and then consistency. This video is about consistency, and then on another video I'm going to wrap this kind of all up. So, consistency, if you're struggling, you've got to get more consistent with the action piece of your plan. So, if you're a procrastinator, which many of us are, then you need to work extra hard putting things on a calendar, same time every day or same time every week, whatever your frequency is, and that's what you do. So in the old days, what we used to do is take a calendar with that you could write notes on. We used to take an X out of the days that we wouldn't work, and the days that we would work, we dedicated that day just to do that. Or if it was a time frame, let's say from 1 to 5, you blocked out everything else and left that open because that's what you're focused on. If you don't stay consistent with what you're doing, you're never going to make it. So when I was in the military, years ago, because I retired in 21, one of the things that we worked on was professional development. You can call yours whatever you want, but in order to gain rank, in order to move up the chain as far as, if you will, you had to continually invest in yourself and take these professional development courses, not to check a box off, but to gain skill and learn the practicality of the skill, so that when you're in the field and you're doing your job and all that kind of thing, you can sharpen those skills. And then when it came for the job that you wanted to be applied for, you could apply for it, and then you could bring those skills to the table, and it sets you apart from everybody else. Now, there's different levels of professional development. However, the point of that with consistency is be consistent with it. You know, if you're going to do some things to support your family, your business, or your job, whatever, be consistent with it. When you go to get reviewed, if you're looking back to improve, one of the things that you want to hear of is that you're very consistent, you're dependable. We appreciate that. You want to hear those things because you know that your frequency pattern is working. Now it's okay, what do I need to do to improve on what I currently have going on? If you're a procrastinator and you don't set up a calendar, chances are you say, I'm going to do something 2 weeks from now, a month from now, 2 months from now, and it never happens. So if you're a natural procrastinator, you have to make this a number one top priority. Like you breathe and you're eating food. You have to say, I have to do this. And you have to convince yourself you have to do this, because if you don't do it, you probably won't do it. Think of this. If you have a family or someone depending on you, or basically you looking at your peer group where you fit in, and you're a procrastinator, realize that there's people within your family and within your peer group that are going to be doing exactly what I'm suggesting you do, which is be consistent. And they're going to challenge themselves. So think of it as a contest. If you've ever been in school, go to school, remember those days, or if you're in school, look around the room and the professor walks in the room. I did this in college a couple of times with my, it was crazy. He would say, or she would say, there's 35 of you in this class, and I only give out 3 A's, blah, 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 down to the F's, right? So you're like, okay. So immediately everybody's looking around the room and say, who are the A's? Who are the B's? Who are the C's? Who are the D's? Okay, well, being consistent in the academic world is studying, do your homework, turning in on time, being prepared for your exams. Those take consistent, study habits as we call them, so that you're not looking around the room. Because if you're looking around the room, I can promise you this, if you're the one looking around the room, it probably isn't you. So you have to decide which one do you want to be. When you go to your friends and you hang on there, hey man, what you doing? You don't want to say, oh, just hanging out, barely making ends meet, got the typical things going on. No, tell them a story. I started this business. I've been working the last, since we started 2-3 months ago, a year ago, whatever it was. Man, we're killing it. We're just killing it. And they're like, well, what are you doing? And then you tell them what you do and how you're doing it. And they're like, okay. Because what's really going on is when someone dives into you like that, they're trying to find little nuggets that they can take from what you've done and apply it to themselves. That's really what they're doing. Does the rest of the crowd care what you're doing? No, they could give two shits about that. So the important part of this, and I bring this up, consistency, is because I've seen lots of YouTube videos on different things, gurus, whatever. You know, it drives me nuts because at the end of the day, they all want to sell you something, right? I mean, it's a sales job. The problem with it is what works for them may not work for you. It may not happen. I live in a unique area. Not every real estate investment uh, plan, concept, idea, program works where I live. So there are some things that will work, but for the most part, not everything works here. So, for example, fixing and flipping. It's a tight market where I live, really, really tight. And some people can't even afford to buy a house that have lived here for years. So fixing and flippings are probably a narrow profit margin in a narrow market, unless you're from out of state. And I don't know about you, but I don't like the fact that there's people from out of state coming in and crushing our real estate market locally that don't even live here. I mean, that's insulting as hell. Having said that, if they're moving here, it's a different story, but a lot of these guys are not moving here. A lot of these guys buy properties from another location outside the state, blah, blah, blah. So being consistent within your group, you can then feel proud that you're moving forward. I know before I walked in the military, I wasn't really going anywhere. Going to college, I wasn't going anywhere. I had this vision in my life of where I wanted to go, and it just wasn't happening. And I didn't want to be the guy to wake up at 30 some odd years old going, Jesus, I'm older now, and I have nothing going for me. Nothing. My life is just there's just nothing there. So I made a bold move. I entered the National Guard, and I decided to go back to school. So I spent 6 weeks at boot camp, and then I went to 9 months, seemed like not forever, 7 months of tech school for my job. And what I basically did is I spent that time learning about myself and then getting back to good study habits. And I did that, and I did really, really well. I came back home, and I went back into college. I had one bad year, cost me a little bit, but I went back to school anyway, and I graduated from college in 2000. My point to that is I stayed with it consistently, and I wanted something better for myself. And I think that's where you guys come into play. Is a lot of guys don't really know how to do that, or don't care, or you're so young that, hey, I got time. I can promise you, if you're taking the attitude that you got time, you don't have time. It's going to fly right by you. Make it a sense of urgency, make it a high priority, and get it done. Be consistent. Set a schedule that you can follow, that you're going to follow, and you say, I'm going to follow. I don't do New Year's resolutions because I think I think it's a waste to do a New Year's resolution. What I do is I reset my goals for this year, and I get after it. And the first 90 days generally are what set the tone for the rest of the year. So we're like right now, we're pressing the test. I've got a home right now that's an assisted living facility that isn't quite full, and I'm pressuring hard to get it full. And they do a phenomenal job. So the staff there is incredible. I love them all, and they work really, really hard. And we've had some bad folks. We've had some not so good stuff, but we're working through that. It's a law of large numbers. The more you go through this, the more you find the right people, the right fit for your house. So we are going through there, and we're almost to the point, I called it Rebound February, because in June I want to start buying multifamily. So be consistency with my communication and all these things I'm doing. Keep that on the front burner is what's important. That's what you have to do. So I'm not going to say anything. I don't have anything to sell you, and I don't want to sell you anything. I want to offer advice, help you make good decisions, get you on the right track, point out obvious things I think are important, but being consistent, taking action. Don't wait. Take action. I know Tony Robbins talks about just take action. So he'll do it right there with you to show you the adrenaline rush you get by taking action. And I think it's important to take action. If you're going to do it now. Don't wait. Do it right now. And you'll get this adrenaline rush from it. And I'm like, wow, that was awesome. That's what it feels like every single time you do it. So if you're working towards something important to you, be consistent with it. Get after it. Put it on a calendar, and then stick to that calendar. And don't let the calendar scare you. Don't let the activities scare you, because I promise you, you're going to be better off for doing it than you have not doing it. All you're going to do is live in regret anyway. Nobody wants regret. So anyway, as I close this out, think about the vision for your life and how important it is for you. And if it's important, you need to get after it. I think it's important for you to believe in yourself. And being consistent with whatever you're doing will help you believe in yourself. It's going to reinforce that. And I want you to believe in yourself, because when you believe in yourself and you've got a lot of confidence, there is nothing you can't accomplish. And then you're going to be consistent all the time. So on that, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, please share, write some comments down. Look forward to putting another video out for you and getting ready to close this whole thing up. And yeah, so take care, have a great day, and thanks for watching.